What's good, y'all? Kyle Loftus, and today we're going to talk about, is multitasking the key to failure or success? Let's find out. The answer is failure, and here's why. Multitasking, or human multitasking, is the apparent human ability to perform more than one task at the same time. An example of this would be talking on your cell phone while driving a car. However, studies and science has shown that it can result in wasted time and, in many circumstances, multiple errors or complete failure of a task. So why are people still saying they can multitask, and why are people trying to do it? So a lot of people claim to be multitaskers when really they're just living in a world that's so interconnected. Today's day and age, we are so interconnected with our devices, our apps, our various electronics and platforms and softwares that we are constantly being bombarded with information, notifications, alerts, etc. And so we have this feeling that we are multitasking because we are constantly jumping around between various tasks. But in reality, what we're really doing is task switching. So first and foremost, let's look at the negative impacts of multitasking. First and foremost, it has an impact on your short-term memory. A 2011 research study from the University of California, San Francisco found multitasking negatively impacts your working memory, your brain's scratch pad, how it finds and determines key tasks. Additionally, it leads to increased anxiety. Neuroscientists say that multitasking literally drains your mind's energy reserves. Causing you to lose focus and become more anxious as the day continues to roll along. Not only that, but it inhibits your creative thinking. Added anxiety and a lack of brain space caused by multitasking can also cause you to lose your ability to think outside the box, to think creatively, to creatively problem solve. Additionally, it stops you from getting in a flow state. A flow state is where all the heavy lifting and work happens. Research has shown that executives in flow state actually are about 500% more productive than when they're not. So again, it interrupts your flow state. This is when you're the most productive. And lastly, multitasking causes more mistakes and less productivity. Multiple studies have found that multitasking causes people to take longer to do simple tasks. It drops your IQ by about 10 points, and it can even have the same negative impacts as losing a night's sleep. It can have the same impact as going a night without sleep. That is crazy. So I want you to do a quick activity for me. Grab out a piece of paper. On this piece of paper, draw 2 lines. On the first line, I want you to write, "I am a great multitasker." On the second line, I want you to write the numbers 1 through 20 sequentially. For this task, first and foremost, I want you to do it one task at a time. So write out, "I am a great multitasker," then write out 1 through 20. Time yourself. Most people take about 20 to 30 seconds. Now do the same task, but we're going to do it through multitasking. So what I want you to do is write, "I am a great multitasker," but after each letter, I want you to jump to the row below and write the correlating number sequentially. So I1, A2, M3. Do that until you finish. Until you finish, "I am a great multitasker," and 1 to 20. Now, by the time you finish, I think you'll realize how much drastically longer this took you to complete. This is what I'm trying to show you guys. It's the task switching. It's the time between each task and reacquainting your mind and yourself to the new task, right? It's all that time it takes to get to starting in operating in that task that really kills our time. Each time you switch activities, you're forcing your brain's executive functions, the ones that manage how, when, and in what order you do tasks, to go through 2 energy-intensive stages. First, the mind has to go through goal shifting. This is where you decide to do one thing instead of another. Next, there's role activation. This is when you switch between the rules or context of one task to the new one. Not only is this mentally taxing, but it also isn't a completely clean process. In a 2010 study, Harvard psychologists Matthew Killingsworth and Daniel Gilbert found that people spent almost 40% of their working hours thinking about a task they weren't currently doing. What? Nearly 50% of people's day was spent thinking about a task they weren't even doing at the time. So again, guys, this is what I'm talking about. You're not fully invested and focused on this single task. Your mind is elsewhere. You're thinking about other things. You were just typing, a text message to someone, then you just got binged an email. Your mind is so spread out and adrift everywhere, you can't truly focus to be extremely effective. Single tasking equals less stress. When you expend extra energy trying to multitask, you end up exhausted and behind on work. When you focus on one thing at a time, you're more likely to get into that state of flow and actually finish what you worked on and turn it in effectively. Additionally, what I love about single task management is it makes you focus on what you should do, not what you could do, right? So single task management really puts you into that mindset of what you need to accomplish. Additionally, doing one thing at a time can make you more creative. It might seem like single tasking is limiting, but in fact, constraints are known to boost creativity. Research has found that when we face scarcity in resources, we give ourselves freedom to use those resources in less conventional ways because we have to, right? So it actually enhances your creativity. It makes you more creative because you have to think outside the box. Lastly, I just want to share 5 easy ways, that you can kind of better implement and utilize single task management. So first and foremost, create a daily schedule with dedicated hours of focused work. Again, I like to think of 3 to 4 hours of focused work, then kind of implement break periods in between those. Another thing you can do is, limit your email time and work in short bursts. Additionally, a third thing, eliminate distractions. Turn off notifications, put your phone away, eliminate all those distractions that are going to take you out of that flow state when you're working. Fourth, alternate between, periods of work and breaks, so again, work for 3 hours, take a 30-minute break. Lastly, optimize your work environment. So not only eliminating distractions like alerts and notifications, but distractions in your workspace. So maybe if you've got a PlayStation where you work, get rid of the PlayStation. You got a TV in there? Get rid of the TV. You do not need a TV where you're trying to work and get things done, you idiot. That's stupid. All right, y'all, that's it for this week's episode. Hope you enjoyed. Again, remember, multitasking is not real. It is a deep fake. Get out of there. It is all about single tasking. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm Kyle Loft, this is Cal Visuals, and I'll see y'all next time.